We are into the round 7 of the World Youth Championships 2022, and today we are going to cover the game of Amulya Guruprasad. Amulya is rated 1278. She's playing in the girls under 14 section, and she was playing against the leader of the tournament, whose name was Maia Arzur from France. There was a gap of almost 600 ELO points, and Amulya let's have a look at this game, how she played. She's from India, but she lives in Qatar, and she's representing India. So let's have a look at this game. And Amulya begins the game with d4, d5, and she plays the London system. Okay, knight f6, e3, c5. Now the London system is filled with many nuances. Should you play knight f3 first? Should you play knight d2? It all depends on, what is black's answer going to be. Queen b6 is one of the main moves that black players want to play in this position. And how are you going to respond to that move? Okay, for now, Amulya just plays c3, which is a very logical move. Knight to c6. And she plays bishop b5. Now, I'm not a big fan of this move because it sort of commits the bishop too soon. And here, black could have played the move, a very strong move. Maybe you can think about it because this is a very typical idea. Yes, queen to b6. And the main point is that you attack the bishop and also the pawn here. And if it takes, then you can take back with the pawn, attacking here, making way for your bishop to control this strong diagonal. a6 was played by Maia. Bishop a4 played. I think taking and knight f3 would have made more sense, also because now there's no bishop a6 coming in, so you can quickly castle it out. Okay, bishop a4, e6, knight to f3, b5 was played in the position, and now the bishop came back to c2. Bishop b7 played here. There was also a possibility of bishop to d6, which I thought is much more to the point. She went bishop b7. Amulya played knight d2, bishop e7, and now castles. Now, at this point, I was imagining that black would also castle. And the position looks around even, maybe slightly better for white. You have this typical plan, which is to take on c5 and then push your pawn to e4. And I think white has a small edge here, but Maia turns out to be more aggressive in general and goes for the move knight h5. Now she attacks the bishop. Amulya here plays, I think, just a very simple move, bishop g3. Maybe it's very interesting to note how to play here with white. So you can take. Now the thing is, if you play bishop c5, then the knight h5 move makes no sense, as I'll move my bishop here, I'll attack here, and then the knight is suddenly looking a bit misplaced on h5. So what you do is you first take, instead of c5, you take on f4 here, then I take back, and then you take on c5. But now after rook e1, I believe that this position is very comfortable for white, especially because of this pawn on f4. You want to play knight e5 next, maybe bring the other knight over. Also, castling is not at all an option. Why? Yes, you're right. Because of the Greek gift sacrifice, it works here perfectly. If you go back, I have queen h5 and it's a mating attack. Or if you come up here, there can be several ways to attack, but most natural is queen g4, and this is very powerful. So knight h5, d takes c5 would have been a good option, but she went bishop g3, takes, pawn takes, and now black can castle, just equal position, nice, both are happy, play the game. But Maia, who was the leader of the tournament, 5.5 out of 6, decided let's go for the attack. And I think it's sort of dubious, but also quite brave. I think the first thing that I would feel when an opponent plays h5, and you can try to think, what would you do here as white? Because the moment your opponent plays on the flank, your initial reaction should be, I must play in the center, because that is where you will get your counterplay. And so the natural move here, I would say, is to take. Because if you take here, the next move is e4. And once I break in the center, I feel like this is a nice position for white. Quite tough for black to attack here. But Amulya went rook e1, which is a little slow. And now opponent played the move f5. And she wanted to stop e4. Maybe g5 was possible. Also very interesting. And I think this could lead to quite a complicated position. But f5. And I think this weakens the position a bit too much. You should try and think, what should white play here? Yes, d takes c5. Excellent move played by Amulya. I think this was a nice move played by her. Bishop c5, if played in this position, then there can be many ways to continue. One of them is b4. Let's say you drop your bishop back to d6 and now a4. And you will realize that white is creating play much faster than black in this position on the queen side. So g5 was played here. Now once you have gone on the attack, you have to attack. Knight d4, excellent move, attacking the e6 pawn. So Maia defends it. And here I thought that Amulya should have protected her pawn with b4. And I think this is not so easy for black to attack. For example, let's say you go h4 here. I can close down the position with g4. In case you play g4 here with the idea of h4, yes, it's possible, but like in the game, it's going to take a little bit more time, and I can open up the queen side with a4. But you know, when as a human being, you are always afraid of kingside attacks. So Amulya brought her knight there, g4. And now she should have played knight to h4. But instead she took and played knight e5, which was very natural. But the opponent now got the move queen c7. And now already it starts to get a little bit dangerous, because h4 is coming up and now black has counterplay. So she went knight g6. And I think here is a very cool position. Try to think, what would you do here with black pieces? It's a very nice situation. So the main thing is that you shouldn't be wasting time. You want to go h4 as soon as you want to attack, but of course you're losing a rook. So, and this rook is not doing much. So a very good idea is king f7. And kudos if you found this move. Very nice move, because take. And next you are going h4 with the queen looking here and the rook looking here, and the pawn can push to d4 and the bishop can open up. This can become a very dangerous attack. Maia was a little bit materialistic here, and she played her rook to h7. Now Amulya took on e7. Queen takes, maybe king takes made a lot of sense. With that, the queen remains here. The rook can double up. This could have been quite dangerous once again. She took with the queen, and now b4, good move, brave move. h4 is getting very, very sharp. And I like the next move a lot from Amulya. I think this was a very important move. White to play, what do you do? So either you can just be very afraid of the attack coming here and say, oh, what do I do? Or you can just say that if she takes, I'll take back. My king will have the f2 square. Let me play on the queen side and open up a front. Because if I can create play from the other side, it will slow down my opponent on the king side. That's counter attack. Very good move, a4. Now played h takes g3. And I think here's an important lesson, which is called threat is stronger than execution, or you can mention it as keeping the tension. So here there is a lot of tension in the position. White doesn't want to take because the black queen will come in. You can go queen c7, putting pressure here. And I think this would really put a lot of pressure on white. But what Maia did is she took. And this already gives the square on f2 for the king. And so this release of tension really helps white. So like after queen c7, king f2, yes, these pawns look ugly, but they do the most important task of keeping your king safe. And now it's impossible to attack. King f7, trying to double, but you know, white is just too quick now. Takes, very nice move, bishop d3, I liked it. Okay, there are tactical possibilities like bishop f5, ef5, queen d5, and then you are hitting the rook on a8, but I like Amulya's move, just bishop d3, queen c6, chop, rook a5, bring the queen in. Now this is weak. Where is your attack, Maya? There's no attack here. And so after takes, king e8, rook a1, b5. You can't take, rook is hanging, c6, b6. These two pawns are just too strong, and black here resigned the game because c7 and b7 coming in. With this, Amulya scores a nice win and is now leading the tournament, which is simply phenomenal. Let's have a look at the standings, but more importantly also for her personally, she is right now gaining close to 200 plus ELO points. It's just amazing. So let's just have so here you can see Amulya leading the tournament with 6 points at the top. Mritika Malik, whom we made a video on yesterday, drew her game, so she's on number 3 position. Pragnya is on number 9 and Anupam Srikumar on number 29. If we just click on Amulya, you will see that she has gained 218 ELO points until now with a phenomenal performance. She lost her first round, but then has won 6 games in a row. Wow, what a performance this has been. Fantastic. In the boys under 14 section, Ilam Parthi faced a loss against Sawa Vetokin, so he's now 1 point down. Ilam Parthi has to make a very strong comeback now in the 4 games that are left. Also, John Veni Akarakaran is on 5 points and has good medal hopes in this event. Under 16 in the open section, we have Pranav Anand, who's risen up to number 2 spot. Very strong performance. He won his game. Pranav is close to his GM title and is playing really well. Pranesh drew his game. So did Harshad. They are both on 5 points. In the under 16 girls, Tanisha Boramanikar is on 4 points. She's on number 27 position. And in under 18 open, we have Soham Kamotra on the 19th spot. While in the girls section, 2 girls in the under 18 are doing very well. In fact, 3 of them, Kanishka on 5.5, Rakshita Ravi also on 5.5, both of them fighting at the top. But you can see Mariam Makarchian from Armenia is on 7 out of 7. Extremely powerful performance. And we'll see, who is Mariam playing today? That's a very important thing. No, she's not playing the Indian players. And Rindia is on 4.5. So this is how things stand at the World Youth Championship. We'll continue our coverage. Last 4 rounds to go. For now, this is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye-bye.